not just a stalwart, but I'm in charge of inter-party affairs of the Unity Party, so I'm responsible to make sure that all of our Unity Party Alliance members are covered under this arrangement.
When you are confirmed, all persons under the code of conduct who are in government holding political party position must
of the War and Economic Crimes Court after the legislature signed the joint resolution. There you have the president about to sign.
I find it only prudent and fair to embrace and further bolster the efforts that the national legislature has so courageously invested in this matter. It is in view of this that I today, Thursday, May 2nd, 2024, signing and issuing Executive Order Number 131, establishing the Office of a War and Economic Crimes Court, what I did.
This signing, what does this mean for Liberia and Liberians, and what you have also been campaigning and talking about?
And it's a turning point in our country's history, the beginning of the end of the culture of opportunity in our country.
Thank you. The speaker is here. Honorable Speaker, the media, sir, you presided over the resolution being signed in the House of Representatives, and today you here. What does this mean to you, not just as a Speaker of the House of Representatives, but as a Liberian as well, sir?
Actually, I had goosebumps when I saw the President signing the executive order establishing the War and Economic Crimes Court. Justice was delayed, and no matter how long, but it will not be denied. Our people today will see the cause of justice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, folks. Good morning, wherever you are and whatever you are doing. A pleasant welcome to another edition of the Today Show right here. With me, Yekezi Zubel and Dennis Nipson, fresh from Kenya. We are being joined by Chokon Flaman as well. And together, we are going to drive you through until 10 o'clock this morning, serving you a very, very scrumptious breakfast. So don't go away. Be there as we sit here to give you all of the best information that you need to know from Liberia. So Dennis, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Yekizi and Chokon. It's good to be back after almost like a week out of this place, but it's good to be back.
How was your trip? How was Kenya?
Yeah.
You just want to say a gist about your trip to Kenya?
Okay, thank you. Kenya was okay, although the weather there is very cold. Because they are in their rainy season as well. But the trip was intended to participate in the first media summit on climate change that was organized by AUB, that is the African Union of Broadcasting, and also the UN Office on Disaster Risk Reduction. So that's why over 30 journalists were gathered in Nairobi to discuss issues relating to the climate situation, what we are confronted with. We see in Liberia, we have the issue of storm, flooding, we have sea erosion, and you can name it, because Liberia is actually situated around the coastal area, and the coastal area, and you will realize that there are a lot of weather-related issues that we face with. So we were gathered in Nairobi to discuss how we can, as journalists, can help to mitigate the impact of climate disaster, and how we can reduce it, how we can report adequately to inform our people how to be prepared. And one thing that is important in the entire situation when it comes to climate issue has to do with the early warning system. Early warning system. And Liberia has been working on, modalities and what have you, but it's important that this country can establish that. That will also help. That can help communities to tell them that, or to tell the populace that at this point in time, there will be storm at certain area, there will be heavy rainfall, and all of those things that they need to take prevention of. Because when we go to bed, we just wake up and there's heavy storm, there's flooding. So if we can have the system that will have indicators to inform, have prior notice before such situation can happen, that will be okay as well. With the mining area as well, miners as well, they also face climate issues. So that's why we were gathered there to brainstorm and learn from other countries how journalists also are reporting on those issues, and how we can adapt what they are doing to help our people to work along with that. So that was actually rewarding. The networking was good, meeting journalists from across the continent and brainstorming on how we can better do that. Yes, that was good. And coming back to Liberia, at least that will also help with the work I do as well in the newsroom, sharing experience with colleagues, and also doing more of what we do, and also ensuring how we can have environmental programs, related programs, to talk about our environment, to talk about how we need to report on climate issues.
Yeah, sure. Especially, I'm interested in the early warning part because it's something that I barely see in most African countries. In the Western world, yes, you see journalists do that on television stations. When there's a disaster, that disaster is kind of a forecast by the journalists that, there will be flood in this area, there will be heavy rainfall, there will be tornado, and just whatever disaster. And that makes people to, take precaution, to take prevention. So, for example, if there's a flooding or unexpected flooding somewhere, and then the journalists come on the radio and inform the public about that flooding, people will take precaution. The government will want to maybe evacuate, evacuate citizens from that particular area so that they cannot be affected by the flooding. And that, prevents casualties, it prevents death and all of that. So I think that was a good training, and I know and trust that you are going to utilize that skill.
Sure.
If you're on this show.
Yeah.
So you'll be predicting.
No, I'll be predicting the weather.
You're going to be predicting the weather. You're going to be telling us when it's going to be flooding.
We need an EPA and all stakeholders to work together to establish that early warning system. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so folks, that's it this morning. Let me say good morning to all of you watching us via Spawn TV Live, via Fabric TV Live, Super TV Live, as well as our YouTube channel. We'd like to say thanks for following the show this morning. And don't go away. George Sumo Jr. is following Siane Moba, watching from Mount Barclay. Thanks for following the show. Moba Tembe is also watching. It says, good morning, Spawn TV. Emmett Hammond is watching from his bureau in Cox City. Thanks for following the show. Cole J. Emmons is watching from GSA Road, Paintsville. Dial Johnson is here. He's on his hospital bed. Wow. Speedy recovery, Johnson. Louis T. Mushant is also following from Capitol Building. Thanks for following, Louis. And the rest of you watching the show this morning, who we may not be able to, call your name, I'd like to say welcome to the show. Chokon is, I don't know, struggling to come in. Chokon, good morning and welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Yegesi, and good morning to our colleague, the Kenyan Tree.
Hello.
Climate specialist, welcome back.
Hello.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so we are happy to have you back on the show.
Yes, happy to be back.
And it's a good thing because climate resilience is a thing that we African, I don't want to say Liberian, because we are neighbor to other countries and they are also in the same boat as we are.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a good thing that journalists are abreast about the whole climate change issue, so as to be able to build your capacity to inform the public on some of those things. Liberia is at the, I don't know to say, the riskier point where we as African countries, especially countries that are in the Mano River Basin, feel the impact of climate change. Despite we are not, involved into the causes of climate change, the basic things, industrial activities are not here, but we feel the greater impact of climate change. That's why it is important that, like you said, the early warning system and education is provided to our people for the public to be aware. So we are good to have you back, at least when we're talking about climate change and all of that. The other day we went somewhere and they were talking about carbon marketing. I was sitting and said, what carbon market? Does it mean the carbon for our gas from the car, then that why they will be carrying to go sell?
It's a whole lot.
It's a whole lot, yeah. It's a whole lot. And Liberia can trade into that because we have the forest that is doing tremendous in order to absorb, what the world said, the climate change people, the emission. Okay, that's the word. So you can see it's good that we're back, and
I just hope you can try to log in.
Yes, and not to cut you off, you're talking about disaster, right? Few years back, I did a climate related story that I spoke with some expert, and what that expert was warning about is about the issue about sea erosion. When you come from the from town to Vatan, the Vatan area there, that area is prone to disaster in the near future. So with the issue of sea erosion, so these are things that our people, need to actually look at. These are things that it really need to indicators they need to be aware of when it comes to the issue of sea erosion and all of that. So I just wanted to, point at that issue.
Okay.
Yeah, Chokon.
All right. So, folks, today's show right here on your favorite dial, we will take the weather forecast quickly. Today, according to weatheratlas.com, the likelihood of rainfall is low, and light precipitation is predicted. If there should be any, more minor temperature shifts from a high of a hot 30 degrees Celsius and 86 degrees Fahrenheit to a low of a warm 26 degrees Celsius and 78.8 degrees Fahrenheit are expected. And the sun rose this morning at 6:27, and the sun will set later this evening at 6:51. The daylight will last for 12 hours and 24 minutes, meaning we are having longer days, shorter night. Okay, so folks, we would like to cut across Liberia. There are some, interesting happenings in the various counties. So we will try to cut across Liberia to speak to our various correspondents to tell us what's unfolding there in Grand Cape Mount County. The U.S. ambassador to Liberia, Captain Retrograde, has reaffirmed commitment of usage to improving various projects there in Grand Cape County. We'll be speaking to our correspondent Makapi Moba there this morning. We also speak to Aaron Seze there in Bomi County, where the citizens of Bomi County denied government 3-day permit to Western cluster. Of recent, the permit of Western cluster was, suspended, but just a day after the government came out again and gave them a 3-day relief to operate for. But it seems that information did not get across there in Bomi County. And so citizens were kind of surprised when they saw Western cluster, transporting minerals from one end to another. Citizens were surprised. I understand that citizens even wanted to, put stop to their operation because what they know is that the government has suspended their permit. So we'll be speaking to Aaron about that in Buffalo County. The city mayor has admonished landowners to clean up their land or they will lose it. Something I think Chokon Flama is in favor of because we were talking about the land saga there in the Catholic community. I know his perspective of that.
Yeah, once you don't have the capacity to develop land in the city areas, it should be taken away and given to people who want to develop it. Legacy.
Not taken away, at least sold. Because it's
it should be sold. But even you sold or lease it will be taken away.
No,
you can lease a land for 98 years.
If you talk about taking
if you
away,
have 50 years so and lease a land for 98 years,
some kind of confiscation. So if you have a land, maybe at a major point, in the city, I think, and you're not able to develop that land, the best thing is either you sell the land or you lease it.
Yeah, but it will be taken away.
Taken away by who?
Whosoever that will purchase the land.
I mean, the government also has the right to declare eminent domain. All right. So if the land is situated in an ado area where the government, wants to maybe initiate or undertake certain development, yes, the government can declare eminent domain, but the government is going to compensate the owner of the land. The government
will take the land away.
It's going to actually buy
so
the land from
what's happening in Nimba County about this? The devil still holding the people.
No, the country devil has takes him back on his actions.
Oh, I thought they arrested.
You don't say that to us. We'll say that to go interview that country devil. So let's see whether we can speak to Christopher Fine this morning. Just hope he can.
I think
answer
that's a
call.
trending story from.
We want to know what's going on there in Nimba
and the government issued a statement over the weekend. The Ministry of Information expressing displeasement about what happened. A country devil will invade the work areas of Aslameta and besieging the premises of the place, even cautioning them just in case the country devil has any grievances to let the government know, but not to go and
devil too will be having grievances with people.
But devil can get vet. Devil vet.
Okay, so I'm not getting Christopher Fan, but there's an article on that development that I would like to read on the show here this morning. Christopher Fan, I don't know, but he usually has a show in the morning, like we have. So he's probably on his show. But there's a statement. It says traditional leaders and protests against. Traditional leaders and protests against AML remove roadblocks. It says traditional leaders there in Nimba County have agreed to remove all roadblocks that they instituted against the operations of ArcelorMittal Liberia in the county, paving the way for dialogue between the communities and the company. Number of activities of the world iron ore mining giant were halted for days in Nimba County due to sustained protests from host communities backed by their traditional society. The communities, mainly from Seyi, Yameng, and Zor chiefdoms, accused the company of not living up to the mineral development agreement signed by the government of Liberia and social corporate responsibility to the communities. They are demanding improved road connectivity, connecting communities, employment of locals, restoration of facilities in Yikipa, as well as resolving environmental, water, sewage, and health conditions. According to a press release from the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the protest prompted an urgent visit of Internal Affairs Minister Honorable Francis Sakila Yumani Sr., who led the delegation of the Interministerial Committee on Concession, whose intervention led to end of protests and removal of roadblocks by traditional leaders at a well-attended town hall meeting held in Baliye. Yeah, Madam County, I struggle with it.
You have to call it.
You know the places where you know your own people. I am proud there.
Saturday, May 11, 2024, the Internal Affairs Minister and team listened to all sides to the protest, including women, youth advocates, and civil society groups, chiefs, and traditional leaders, among others. The minister held separate consultative engagement with traditional leaders. It was agreed to end the protest and remove roadblocks. According to the release, the minister announced that ArcelorMittal will begin road rehabilitation works immediately while they commence dialogue for the other demands. He requested the affected communities to form a committee that will engage with the management of ArcelorMittal on a count-by-count basis of each demand, beginning with the first dialogue scheduled for Sunday, May 12, 2024 in Yikipa. Honorable Yumani said he wants the company to sit with the communities for dialogue while fostering social cohesion. The Internal Affairs Minister frowned on the use of traditional society for protest purposes, saying, while the government will demand concession to fulfill obligations, the government does not encourage the use of tradition as a substitute for the rule of law. Saturday's engagement was attended by Honorable Edwin Dennis, head of the National Bureau of Concession, the Deputy Minister of the Ministry of Mines and Energy, Representative Electoral District Number 3, along with Representative Jan Flomon of Nimba County District Number 2, and local government officials of Nimba County. Yeah, so that is it there. There was an intervention there by the Ministry of Internal Affairs,
yes,
headed by former Representative Francis Yumalin as minister. Dialogues were held between the aggrieved parties among community dwellers and all of that, and they came to a conclusion that they should remove the roadblocks and they should not use the country devil as a substitute, for the rule of law. And immediately, according to the what I read, it was sent to me by someone that road works have begun. The Ministry of Internal Affairs ordered the ArcelorMittal company to begin rehabilitation of roads there in the county. So it will be good if we call Christopher Fan to know as to whether road works have begun, because according to what I read, road works should begin immediately. And that is even the problem the president had with Western Cluster, for which their permit, was suspended. You can't be using the road, to and fro, and you are using bigger vehicles that's damaging the road, and you're not fixing the road. You're not rehabilitating the road. Mm-hmm. It becomes a problem,
which is very bad. And I was in bombing last week. I feel you, Yekezi and Chokon. You realize that how do you call them again? Western Cluster, right? They are heavy duty trucks. on that road. And what I noticed that, because of that, they are no longer applying like in the day, but at night, we're on that road, almost like over 10 trucks pass that road. The heavy duty trucks just flying the road, and the roads are bad. The road on that side is very bad. Yes, I would say it's bad. So there's a need for them to actually rehabilitate the road. It is very much deplorable. I saw some tourist site, people were parading, on the social media, and think it is good. But going that place is actually dangerous for the road, because you have a low Vigo, you want to go to experience or to go for sightseeing, you cannot because of the deplorable road condition.
Yeah. I think it is just what you said. Aside from the suspension of Western Cluster license, I think there more needs to be done to investigate, because there were issues about the concession, how the concession returned to the country, how Western Cluster returned to the country, and all of that. The concession should not be based on resolution, but rather it should be based on a law from the house. But Western Cluster are operating on a resolution, and many of the citizens in Bowman County dislike that. Aside from that, the employment level of the people of Bowman, and the form and manner in which the roads being treated, and other issues in the county. So the whole Western Cluster thing is to be reviewed, and other people are always saying from the county.
Okay, so we also have on the line CZ Moba. CZ Moba is our correspondent in Grand Cape Mountain County. And in Grand Cape Mountain County, the U.S. ambassador to Liberia, Catherine Rodriguez, has reaffirmed her commitment of the USAID improving various projects there in Grand Cape Mountain County and Liberia at large. So CZ is on the line to tell us more about that. CZ, good morning and welcome.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning to the peaceful citizens of Liberia, and good morning to you guys, students as well.
Okay, tell us more about this story where the U.S. ambassador, Madam Rodriguez, made commitment to, ensuring that projects there in Grand Cape Mountain County and other parts of the country, are kind of improved on.
Yes, exactly. That's what happened. She reaffirmed a lot of projects. To be specific, with that, update quickly. She visited the water treatment plant here that was long since renovated, and it began operation 2018 up to date. They have spent 6 years in operation. So the water treatment plant that is supplying about 6,000 inhabitants in Liberia, in Robertsport here, to be specific. She visited the treatment plant, and she was sort of meet with local leaders and local entity that is taking care of the water treatment plant, alongside the Liberia Water and Sewer Managing Director, Honorable Mr. Mo Ali. So they both were, visited the treatment plant, and she emphasized that she will make sure when it comes to water sanitation, she'll make sure the project of that kind will also be enshrined into that document as well. So she later left and then visited the local.
So she pledged a commitment to ensuring that projects are undertaken there in Grand Cape Mountain County. That was she able to spell out or outline or point out some of those projects?
Yeah, she reaffirmed it, and then that's how alongside the managing director of the Liberia Water and Sewer, they would all.
What are some of the projects she talked about undertaking?
One of the projects is about the 200 household connection to the citizen of Robertsport. They will make sure the provider at which they are already date, and the extension of the water network system in the various sector or in the various communities in Robertsport here. Those are things that they undertaking because they got to bring they got to bring additional pipe to be able to extend these, pipeline to the various communities, more especially to isolated communities that is hard in need of water. So she actually said that she will make sure that water reach to that part of, Robertsport.
So how has been the a water system there in Robertsport? Has it been effective?
Yes, the water system have been very effective, and they've been on. They've been carrying on a smooth operation for the past 6 years, and they were, since they turn it over to the Liberian Water and Sewer, and UC is the one that build the entire system and they turn it over to the government, and they've been running for the next 6 years.
So you mean the water system in Robertsport has been running, has been effective all along on the CDC regime?
Sure, they have never have any
water have been flowing consistently.
You can say that again. So she later left, and she visited, one of the most.
That's better than Monrovia. Go ahead.
You say? Of course, yeah, you can say that again. That's far better than Monrovia. So she met with the local leadership here as well, mostly the superintendent office, and they also highlighted some project that we have, the hospital. Robertsport Renown Hospital that was vandalized some time ago in the Civil War. They're trying to even, build it again or renovate it as well. So they highlighted that. Then her tour, extended to the newly established, Eco Lodge, they call it Wakolo Eco Lodge right now, Jungle. So she went there and she met with Rudolph, who happens to be the CEO of that particular, Eco Lodge. Jungle, how do you call it?
Resort?
Yes, that's the place that they just built newly. So she met with the CEO and they all did the groundbreaking ceremony.
Okay.
And that era was very.
So what was the main essence of a visit to Robertsport?
Her main essence is, they actually want to. In the interview, she said they really want to put more emphasis when it comes to tourism. So the tourism aspect is what she really she spoke on over and over.
Okay.
Like she really want to make the place to be a tourism area, so they visited some of those strategic places, Robertsport, that they can be able to, build local kind of tourism area that a lot of people it would attract a lot of international donors or whoever to come to Liberia to come and visit this part of Liberia,
Thank you.
especially Robertsport.
Thank you. Thank you for those for that development. CZ there from Grand Cape County. Hope to join you another time.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me on the show this morning.
Okay. So he's Grand Cape County correspondent. CZ Mobile there. So let's go over to Aaron Kume there from Bomi County. And in Bomi County, the citizens are in denial of a respite that was granted Western Cluster. So let's see whether we can speak to Aaron Kume this morning on the show from Bomi County about that development. Okay, so I'm not getting Aaron Kume. I don't know, probably it is due to the network. But yeah, let me try him one more time. If I don't get him, then of course we have to go over to other issues in the country. Aaron Kume is our Bomi County correspondent. Let's see whether we can get him. Okay, Aaron. Okay, so you're listening to the Today Show right here on your favorite dial, 107.5. We're also coming to you live on Spoon. That's Fabric 101.1 FM. So we have on the line Aaron Kume from Bomi County. Aaron, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Let me say good morning to the Spoon family this morning.
Good morning.
How is Bomi County? I'm here alongside Dennis and Chokon.
Oh, guys, how you all doing?
We okay. We're fine.
All right, that's good. Bomi is quiet this morning. Things are on cool, and the country is kind of cool this morning.
Okay. Yeah, so tell us about this issue of citizens being in denial of a respite or a relief. 3 days break being given to Western Cluster. Yes, we understand that the government, suspended the permit of Western Cluster just of recent, but the same government, the Ministry of Public Works, said having studied, other conditions that were in play, they decided to grant them a 3-day respite or a break. Yeah. So tell us about citizens' denial of this.
All already began like day before yesterday afternoon, where citizens saw a huge number of Western cluster vehicles, especially their trucks, loaded from the point of the cluster towards the Freeport of Monrovia. And then the information hit the lawmaker and other civil society agents in Bombay County when they came dead, and then the lawmaker asked the cluster driver, especially the director there, and then he said that the governor of Liberia permitted them 3 days to transport their oats from Tottenham Bread to the Freeport of Monrovia. And then there where the lawmaker said no, they are not in the knowing of the 3 days permit that were given to Western Cluster. And then that becomes something like a tussle between the drivers and that of the civil society guys, and especially the lawmaker who came in to put hot to them, and he immediately told them to turn their Alvera trucks back to the company.
Okay. All right. So it means even the lawmaker had not known at the time that the Ministry of Public Works has given Western Cluster a relief for 3 days.
Yes, because when we got to the company yard, because I followed the entire process from the interception here, when the guys turned around, went back in the company yard, and then the manager for Western Cluster here in Liberia, he brought us a sheet. You know, that document that he brought, he said it was from the Ministry of Public Works, and approved the President Joseph Boyka released that the company should be suspended for their rule or usual usual operation should be suspended. They had a series of meetings over the time from the day of the pronouncement. They started hosting some meetings according to the manager. Due to that meeting, the government permitted them, according to him, the government permitted them 3 days, and then he brought a 60 copy from the Ministry of Public Works, bearing the signature of Public Works Minister, stating that the minister should allow, that the country should allow cluster to export their oats within 3 days. But then the lawmaker said, the Honorable Obadiah Browning said, yes, that may be, but it is not actually to his knowledge. If that should be something that the government wanted it to be done, then they should come down in the county for a mass meeting, not just gentleman agreement. That's why he terms their agreement to be not a gentleman agreement where 2-3 persons will go and sit somewhere and then accept that the company should hold their oath. That the company in Western Cluster, the oath that they're about to transport might be their last iron ore. So, why in case they allow them to transport their oath and then leave the country undone? Because from that time up to now, since the 3 days, the person made a pronouncement, we have not even seen a mobilization of groups to start breaching the railroad. Nothing like that has been done. And
so basically, what I do see is whole information dissemination. The Ministry of Public Works did not communicate that information well, and I think one of the rightful places to have communicated that information well is there in Bombay County, especially in those communities that are affected by the operations of a Western Cluster. But it seems that citizens did not know. But what was the reaction of the citizens upon seeing Western Cluster operating after they have been told earlier by the government that their permits have been suspended? What was their reaction?
Well, it was only by the grace of God that the honorable representatives were in presence that day. But if the lawmaker were not there to instruct those guys to come down, then by now we are discussing something in Bombay County, because the guys were actually in gear to destroy any of their vehicle that will violate, because other drivers were there like saying, we will go, we will move them, we will do this. No one can stop us. Government gave up 3 days permit. So by the intervention of the lawmaker, things were like calming down.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was Obi that are running that today, the quiet, no.
And just so you know that 3-day respite has ended. It ended on the 12th. It began on the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th. So it ended yesterday. So any transportation of oil by Western Cluster today is going to be considered illegal.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's why
So-
we all are saying, and that's why citizens of the country.
Yeah. So Dennis has a question.
So
to ask
you were talking about that being done with. I'd like to know, when was that instituted? When was it put into effect? Because week before last, I think it was the 3rd of this month. I was in the county, and I saw Western Cluster operating, and even at night. That when they were carrying their services at night, they were plying the road. So was that not into effect, or is it now that the government has put a halt to them? Because when I was in the county week before last, and even some of the citizens and those that were in the vehicle were saying that, oh, the president or the government did not stop them. They only warned them not to. They warned them that in case of anything, they would be stopped. So when was it put into effect?
Hello?
Yes.
All right, you see, that's one of the issues. Western Cluster, when it comes to their transportation, in the daytime, they don't transport. Since the government make the pronouncement. So at night, they violate the mandate of the president at night.
Okay, because I saw that.
Nighttime, that's the time you see almost 40, 50, I'm not telling less than 40, 50 trucks land off.
I saw it. I saw it. I was there.
All the time and upload their materials. So usually they violate the mandate at night.
Okay.
Even like even Western Cluster it is actually they acknowledge that their payment have been finally suspended, and the only way we could see them moving is by the way road. But don't be surprised now to see their trucks still moving at night. They will take the truck, 3 trucks will go ahead. So you look, one truck follow, just like that, one, they plow the street, one, they will not move in gear again, especially in the daytime. You see the truck moving, no time putting over that hole, so that you will see, maybe like an empty truck moving.
So then it brings to my mind the question, since the government, suspended Western Cluster road user permit, did the government put any mechanism into place to ensure that Western Cluster does not, violate its mandate?
Let me just be straight to say no, because we as citizens of this country, we have not seen any government official or maybe let's say security apparatus yet to come and say, okay, since the government has given the mandate and then Western Cluster is no more operating in Bombay County, these are security that we are bringing here to man this area to ensure that one trucks or pickup of iron ore should not leave this area. Nothing of such have been put in place when you ask the question.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Aaron Kume, for giving us details about that development.
Thank you so much, I guess, and my other bodies in studio.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much. Yeah. So that's it.
That was what I asked Yekezi, because week before last, right after they said, they suspended whatsoever operation or what, I was in the county and I saw Western Cluster operating at night. And I can tell you how they speed on the road at night. You see all the trucks were passing. So I was like, what's happening? I thought that there's this, regulation or some punitive measure or something being put into place by the government. But that was not seen. And this is the problem we have, Yekezi and Chokon, the issue about supervision. Who monitors activities? Whenever government comes in and say, we are going to do this, they should be implemented. You don't see anybody monitoring. There's no one to monitor. So at night, the people still go ahead to do their operations. They say, oh, those people in Morovia, they are not following me. Let us go ahead, don't mind them, just come and talk. So these things, like the president said, it is not business as usual. It shouldn't be business as usual. There should be people to follow up on the president's mandate, the president's decisions. Whenever there's any measures put into place, there is a need to ensure that it is monitored to the court.
Okay, so when the president visited Bomi County and observed this particular situation of Western Cluster's operation, immediately the permit was not suspended.
Okay.
They have to come back to town, sit down and discuss and analyze the situation before issuing the suspension. So the suspension was issued like 4 days ago on May 8th. On the 8th of May, the suspension was issued. And then after a few days, they came up with another release that is captioned, "The government of Liberia grants a 3-day respite to Western Cluster Limited, reaffirmed its commitment to uncompromising enforcement afterwards." So 2 days after the suspension, the government came up to grant them 3 days to transport their oaths for 3 days from the 10th of May to the 12th, which elapsed on yesterday. But actually, what you were saying is also true. You know, the issue of supervision, the issue of monitoring, the government will pass a mandate, will pass a policy, but you know, to monitor and supervise to ensure that the government's mandate is executed is an age-old problem in this country, especially in Bomi. Bomi is not far from Monrovia. Yeah, so if the government is coming up to say, hey, Western Cluster, your permit is suspended, I think the Ministry of Public Works, you have a sub-office there in Bomi County monitoring the situation alongside the police and other people, so that if they see Western Cluster still transporting ore at night, because according to Aaron, they usually violate government's mandate at night. So that when they see such action, I mean, they can just tip off the police, and the police will go and stop them. But you can pass a mandate. You can pass a mandate, and then you just leave it, and you expect that the mandate will execute itself. It will not.
Aside from that, see, we also have highway patrol police officers on the road.
Yeah.
We also have checkpoints on the road, and they already know about this mandate. I don't know why they should allow Western Cluster or heavy duty vehicles fly the road with such excessive speed. And you have the ordinary citizens, motorcyclists using the road. There have been reports of accident on the road, and yet absolutely there's no conclusion to some of those investigations for the people of Bomi County. So there's a need not just to come out and make pronouncement at the end of the day and the same thing continues. No, it should not be. That's why we have new government into place, and we should be doing new things to benefit the people of Liberia.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we hope the right thing can be done. I hope the folks that in Bomi County, because those are some of the things that cause citizens action. In a county where you don't have much security officer, or where you see the government, who pass a mandate, who pass a policy that don't do this, and especially something that is against the interest of the people, and then you see that company or that organization doing the same thing, that in many instances prompt citizens action. Sure. Now, like what Aaron reported. So if it weren't for the intervention of the lawmaker, the representative, the other day, because information about granting them the 3 days permit to transport their old, it was not well disseminated. So if that representative wasn't there to intervene in that situation, it might have led to another chaos. The citizens would have, put stop. So Western Cluster trucks from transporting, ore from one area to another. And maybe those people would have forcibly wanted, to transport their ores, and that would have just resulted into some kind of chaos where somebody might have been injured, or likely people might have died in the process. So I hope the government, you don't just pass a mandate
yet.
And you just leave it like that. That mandate will not execute itself. Your mandate, or it shouldn't be lip service. Except you want to tell us that lip service you're doing. You just go, you say something, but at the end of the day, you don't ensure that what you said is done. And folks, don't forget to play the Spoon 1075 Mega Daily Cash Flash. The dashboard is actually open. Sorry, I haven't informed you since this morning. But the dashboard is open. You can dial *799# *799#. Select number 3 for Spoon FM, and you choose how to pay the playing fee. The playing fee is just 70 cents US or 100 Liberian dollars. Once you do that, you enter the draw automatically, and you stand a chance to win 2,500 Liberian dollars. And of course, we will have 20 persons winning that amount here this morning on the show. Okay, and another issue has to do with this assets recovery. I think you guys have been following developments emanating from the assets recovery team. Resignation of Emmanuel Gonkwe. He resigned last week, posted on his page that he was resigning, even though in his social media posting did not state his reasons for resignation, but he was here on the show on the 9th of this month, last week, and he stated several reasons for his resignation. According to him, the failure of the committee chairperson, Clamati, to relate to them, that Clamati is just taking unilateral, decision. He doesn't consult with the entire body before taking decisions, and that if the leadership, based on their past workings with the leadership of the assets recovery team, if the leadership is not reconstituted, the assets recovery team is just going to be another thing of the past that did not succeed. It's just going to be like the assets recovery team of the former regime. Nothing is going to come out of it. And he even said, in the coming days, we should not be surprised if other members of the team, like Martin Colley, if he doesn't, if he turned out in his resignation, even Ellis Coffey, we shouldn't be surprised if he does the same. So it is a serious problem, and I believe you guys have been following. You just want to chip in on that.
Yeah, and I followed the speaker when he said that the issue about the asset recovery thing is a failure because they are following the same track, the same way the past leadership headed by President Wiaden conducted their asset recovery is the same way this asset recovery team that has been constituted by President Joseph Boakai as well is proceeding, and according to him, it is a failure and will end up the same. And till now, we are seeing now some proceeding as it relates to that. We are seeing that some of the members talking about it's a failure, they are resigning, the head is not relating, and also the way in which they have been conducting the affairs of the asset recovery. We have not seen tangible yet, apart from the ones that were saying maybe the asset recovery on the street, taking cars from people while they are going somewhere, take their cars, and the issue with the the former protocol, chief of protocol of the president, Fina Bono, we saw her fleet's vehicle as well, were seized at some point in time. And this is the same way the past administration went after people almost in a form of witch hunting, say it was asset recovery. And at the end of the day, we didn't see much of that. We didn't see much happening. So, well, we are not surprised. I'm not surprised a bit of how others are coming up to say things, because this situation, Liberia, until, you know, authority can sit down and really brainstorm and craft the way in which they can approach issues, we will begin to see tangibles, we'll begin to see results. But if we have a country where people just go by the way, the same way people were doing things, you cannot do, like, I think Alexander Cummings Retrocon would say, do things the same way and expect a different result. Yeah, so there's a need that we change the way in which people go about doing things. Choko, what do you think?
Yes, Denise. But when the team was set up few weeks ago, we said that in fact the entire setup of the team involving politicians instead of legal people, expert, it just showed that this was going to go this way, because we know that Imaya Gongwa is a politician. He already, during the CDC regime, already believed that citizens, those who were in power, they were corrupt. He always accused former finance minister and the rest of those guys of corruption. Martin Colley, the same thing. He usually read against them, and say they are corrupt. So bringing those people on board to say they should recover assets, they should go ahead and be able to investigate those who are government properties and here and there. It just says a lot that you already assume that this thing will not work. Yeah. So it is not strange,
mind, right?
Yeah. It is not strange for me to hear that Imaya Gongwe stepped aside. Aside from that, Emmanuel Gongwe, he himself made that clear that he resigned because he was already in government. He has been working at the National Port Authority for years now as a director of manpower at the National Port Authority, making some amount of 7,000 a year. So you can be in government and be on the asset recovery team, getting money.
7,000?
It's double dipping.
7,000?
Yeah.
7,000 US?
Oh, 7,000 Liberian now.
Wow.
So when the public began to raise concern about the integrity of Emmanuel Gongwe, he saw that coming. He stepped aside. Not only that, but he was one of those people you can recall when the team was set up, who went and arrested former police inspector general for driving a vehicle that the asset recovery had no knowledge about how the man acquired the vehicle. Even the gracious RA, they had no knowledge about how the vehicles, those fleets of vehicles were brought in the country, but they went ahead and impounded those vehicles. So you already know that Emmanuel Gongwe he's already in government, and then again going to serve in another position in the same government. It's not just double dipping, but it's unfair. You cannot be talking about corruption, the former government corrupt, and in fact your head is not relating to you. Some money, the first fund that was sent to the place, you don't know how it was expanded. Some people complain it was spent on billboard and all of that. How the money
Nigeria is just like a cycle, you know,
and all of that. So he stepped aside. But for me, it is not strange. I think the next president will be Martin Colley. Martin Colley is a politician too on the asset recovery team, and we need independent people.
Yeah.
Who have the technical know-how to handle that. Like Senator Dillon said last night, And on the show here, I support that. We should bring new people who have independent, who are not attached to any, who are not attached to any political
expertise. Not that people who have been publicly involved into
politics, who already have the preconceived mind that
they have already discussed their sides. Everybody else had to know their side.
We have to do things differently to get.
Yeah, but folks, we are expecting guests here very shortly, but I want us to discuss this issue just before playing host to our guest. The issue there at Fendall, as you may know, the government under the regime of Madam Ellie Johnson Sirleaf demolished homes there at the Fendall area. Some of us thought that there was a very quick impact project that the government wanted to undertake on that land. But since the destruction or demolition of those homes, just because according to the government, they are on government land, without enough time, given to the dwellers, the inhabitants, the occupants of those homes. Since then, the land just over there languishing, growing with grass. The area has become bush. Sometimes it takes months. Nobody to brush it, and the area is there. But the those who were affected by the demolition, they are now calling on the government. They are calling on the government of President Joseph Boakai to pay them US $4 million in damage. But I think Dennis has been following that story. Dennis, you just want to maybe give us a brief on that story, and then we can later on play host to our guest.
Okay, so I think perhaps we'll have time again to maybe speak to some of the victims.
Okay.
In 2016, the government of President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf by then had that demolition exercise that took place at the Fendall area, where some people were occupying land around the University of Liberia, and those people actually, their place they went to court, they and the government, because the government say the land was owned by them, and then the people said no, they have deeds to do to the properties. So while they were, according to them, while they were in still in court discussing, the government by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, now President Sirleaf, then went on them and just came with their bulldozer and everything early morning and just broke the homes. That team was headed by Wedding Couple Red, who is a professor at the university. They broke down the homes of those people, and according to them, during that time, even that led to death of a lot of people, over 22, because some people after that they had heartbreak, they had pressure, and all of that resulted to that. There were a lot of people that had properties on that land, and then the properties were demolished without any, proper means and even settlement. So with the situation, the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government left. In 2019, when President Weah came to power, he went to the people, tried to talk to them and said, oh, the government, this is their people, we cannot go to court, so we're going to help. He constituted a thing that was headed by the Land Authority, LRRC, and other public works. A committee, they set up, they look at the damage that was done. They say, I think it was in the tune of 16 million. So they said, since 16 million, the government can pay 8 million to the people. And then President Weah went and negotiated and said, the 8 million and the government cannot afford, we'll give you 5 million. So that's where they stopped. Then the President Weah government gave 1 million then at that time, according to them. So the 1 million, they shared that, tried to give, and then was done by the Public Works Ministry, their RAP division, gave some of the, a portion of people, giving them some small thing, and then remaining 4 million. Since then, It has not been paid.
It's not been paid.
It has not been paid. So they are now, hoping that the Broadcast administration will see to it that the remaining 4 million, the balance of 4 million that the government owed them, can be paid, because government is continuity. Yes, and then their homes were broken down. Some of them don't have anywhere to go, and I think that story also is being lifted in the Front Page Africa Today edition. They don't have anywhere to go. Some of them now, their parents died. Some of the family lost their properties. Some people credited money to use and all of that, and they couldn't get it. So maybe we'll play host to some of the victims here to see how it can be, how we can take few calls. KKZ, we can chip in few calls before we take our guest or something.
I think we just have to go to the guest, because the guest here for 1 hour, and we have already gone into their time. They should have been here since 9 o'clock. Yeah, so maybe we can talk about that more on tomorrow, like you said, and play a host to some of the victims, but we're going to the time of the guest. So let's take this quick break, and we'll come back. We'll be playing host to Madam Comfort Iginetu Cooper, CEO of Comfort Mental Health. We'll also play host to Dr. Stella Jeffords, CEO of Affordable Healthcare, Maryland, USA. They will be here discussing the opening of a new mental health center called the Comfort Mental Health Care on May 18, 2024. But we'll take this very short break to be back.
This signing, what does this mean for Liberia and Liberians, and what you have also been campaigning and talking about?
And it's a turning point in our country's history, the beginning of the end of the culture of opportunity in our country.
Thank you. The speaker is here. Honorable Speaker, the media, sir, you presided over the resolution being signed in the House of Representatives, and today you here. What does this mean to you, not just as a Speaker of the House of Representatives, but as a Liberian as well, sir?
Actually, I had goosebumps when I saw the President signing the executive order establishing the War and Economic Transport. Justice was delayed, and no matter how long, but it will not be denied. Our people today will see the cause of justice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I find it only prudent and fair to embrace and further bolster the efforts that the national legislature has so courageously invested in this matter. It is in view of it that I today, Thursday, May 2nd, 2024, signing and issuing Executive Order number 131, establishing the Office of a War and Economic Transport for Liberia.
From the top of Wolongisi to the beaches of Maryland, we cover Liberia like nobody else does. This is Spoon 107.5 FM.
Liberia, where games thrive, Winners Incorporated keeps the dream alive.
Oh yes, with our weekly promotions, big cash inside. Join the fun. Let your skills take flight.
Win bigger cash with Winners Incorporated weekly promotion. Never shrink. Hellable cash prizes waiting just for you. Compete, play, and aim for the win.
For gamers board, for thrill seekers green, Winners Incorporated is your promised land.
Join the major leagues. Let your skills ignite in Liberia. Game day and night.
Yes! What are you waiting for?
Join the winner cycle. Take your stand and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to enjoy our many promotions with Winners Incorporated, the #1 gaming brand. So don't delay. Come join the race for bigger cash prizes and gaming grace.
Winners Incorporated, simply #1 in Liberia from 18 years and above. When you are gaming in Liberia, Winners Incorporated leads the way.
That's why we are the most efficient, reliable, and trusted every single day for gaming.
With payouts swift and sure, you will never wait around. The thrill of winning with us, the best games can be fun.
From slots to pre-match and live games too, Winners Incorporated delivers excitement just for you. Our commitment stays strong. Our service is top tier.
Join the winning team. Let the games begin.
So, if you are seeking fun and prizes to attain, choose Winners Incorporated, where victory is your game. The ultimate gaming experience in Liberia. We reign.
Winners Incorporated, where every player's a winner again and again.
Win big, play with the best. Winners Incorporated, simply #1 in Liberia.
From 18 years and above.
Attention to all university students. GT Bank presents the GT Code College Storm.
GT Bank and I'm baby to no university.
Listen, GT Bank is hitting every university campus beginning this April, starting with the University of Liberia.
Paco, GT Bank strong.
With this GT Code College Storm, university students can open a GT Bank savings account with a minimum of 15 USD initial deposit. With this initial deposit, you will get a Visa debit card, which will enable you access funds from your account, pay bills, and do online payment. The easy part is that we will be right on your campus to create the accounts. All you need to do is fill in the form and get a passport size photo along with your student ID, passport, or national ID, and a minimum of 15 USD initial deposit for your account. You will also have the opportunity to learn about our fantastic product, including *737#, GT Create It, Internet Banking, GT World Mobile App, and more. Don't worry about the hassle, because GT Bank is taking banking to your classroom right on your chalkboard. It's GT Bank. Wouldn't you rather bank with us?
Okay, welcome. This is the Today Show right here on your favorite dial, 107.5 megahertz. We're also coming to you live on Fabric, 101.1 megahertz. And of course, my name is Yekezi Zobel. I'm here alongside my colleague, Denise Nipson and Trokon Flaman. And together we are driving you up until 10 o'clock. So like I said, we have as guest this morning Comfort Yenetu Cooper. She's CEO of Comfort Mental Health. And Dr. Stella Jeffricks is the CEO of Affordable Health Care Maryland, USA. So they are here to discuss the opening of a new mental health center called the Comfort Mental Health Care on May 18 of this year. So we'll be joining them very, very shortly. I mean, ushering Madam Yenetu Cooper. Welcome to the show, Madam.
Thank you.
And in the meantime, we'll have Dr. Jeffricks. backstage, but of course you're going to hear her. We are working out modalities to bring her live on camera. Dr. Richard Jeffries, welcome to the show. Okay, we apologize for the feedback. Okay, so let's begin with you, Madam Cooper. You want to tell us just a little bit about yourself before beginning the show?
I'm Mrs. Comfort Yanatu Cooper, CEO and founder of the Comfort Mental Health Initiative.
Okay. Doc?
Hi, I'm Dr. Stella Jeffries, currently in private practice in the USA, have my own clinic, and I'm also working in partnership with Comfort Mental Health Center.
Okay, so before beginning this conversation about the opening of a new mental health center in Liberia, folks out there may want to know more about the Comfort Mental Health Center. Care to tell us more about your health center?
Yes, Comfort Mental Health is a newly built mental health facility that is going to be opened on May 18th, Saturday, 2024, this year. Let's say next week, Saturday.
Next week, Saturday.
Yes, and because of the WHO 2016 report on mental health, that we had 40%, and in Liberia, we have every 1 person in 5 that have mental health problems. And being one of the former administrator of the John F. Kennedy Mental Health Hospital, and I thought it wise to come and give back to the Liberian people by constructing a mental health facility with the help of my family, my husband and kids, and with the greater help of Dr. Stella Jeffries, who is in studio with me today for the opening on May 18th.
So it's your first time. This Comfort Mental Health has now been in existence, according to you, based on recent reports of increasing mental health. That's why you decided to come back to give back to your community by establishing a health center.
Yes.
Okay. So tell us, where are you going to establish this health center, and what are some mental health activities that your health center will be involved with?
Well, the center is already built.
Okay.
It's already established. It's on the police academy. You know, right now we don't have addresses like you see the numbers and other things. But if you get to the water side, right by Rennie CA House, you turn left by Rennie CA House. And if you get at the police academy turning point.
Muted? Okay, so folks, we apologize for that interruption. Yeah, we apologize for that feedback. It was very terrible, and we apologize for that. But that was in preparation for the coming on of Dr. Stella Jeffries on the camera. Yes, Madam Cooper, you can continue.
Yeah, at the turning point of the police academy, you turn on your right and walk in. When you ask people, we're going to have signboards there that are going to direct you. The building is built and ready.
Okay.
And services that will be there will be like family counseling, detoxification of substance users, and we have rehabilitation, and along with the reintegration that we are trying to talk with the various ministries to see how they could incorporate our people. And we have a lot that will be done.
Reintegration. So how will you go about doing that, especially in Liberia, where we have a lot of disadvantaged youths we refer to as SOHOs? A lot of them need reintegration. A lot of them may want to benefit from your mental health facility. So how do they get to you, or how do they become part of your mental health facility, if they wish?
Yes, and we have started outreach around, and we have been going to various radio stations to talk to people, the Liberian people, about this new facility. Like the reintegration process is the hardest part in the mental health. If you detoxify, you have gone through rehabilitation and other processes, you have taught them trades, and taking them back to the same old society where they came from is the problem. So that's why our institution have thought it wise to engage the Ministry of Public Works, the Ministry of Youth and Sport, the Ministry of as Water and Sewer, Agriculture Ministry, because we need LEC around the country. So our youth that might learn electricity could be incorporated into LEC. Our youth can be incorporated into public works to help them with the rural work. And you have the water and sewage that is not in just in Monrovia. The whole country needs water. So we have our if they can incorporate some of our youth too into the programs. And if you have a youth, let's say you pay them like 10,000 LD a month and give them the allowance to take it on themselves and take them to Boone County or other counties to be able to work. And if they come back in a year, you save for them, if come back in a year, it's a lot of money they're going to have to be able to start their own reintegration process. But you cannot take them from West Point, go through the whole process, and after 6 to 9 months, you take them right back to West Point without giving them anything.
So
it's not going to work.
yes, so I like to know, are you dealing with people with mental health or those who are involved with illicit drugs and things?
We are dealing with both mental health and illicit drugs
Because
users.
there's a
And
difference.
also we have the home of adolescent girls.
Okay.
Yeah, we take 10 at a time. I want to deal with 10 adolescent girls at a time. Trouble adolescent girls.
Okay,
Okay.
we come back to you, Madam Cooper. Let's go over to Dr. Jeffries, who's the CEO of Affordable Healthcare in Maryland, USA. Doc, tell us your role in this whole mental health center establishment. Why have you come from the USA and here in Liberia?
Okay, currently I'm a certified substance use disorder treatment provider in the U.S. So I have been certified by the mental health sector in the U.S. I currently treat patients with different medications. So the treatment modality, not only is it rehabilitation, psychological, but also medications. So I treat patients with Vivitrol, Suboxone, Zubzol. So those are all medications that helps block the receptor sites for these drugs. You know, like the opiates, the heroin, all of those drugs. So these medications are very effective. So partnering with Comfort Mental Health, we'll try to solicitate a sponsor to different pharmaceutical company in the U.S. to help bring some of these treatment, because sometimes it's not just the 6 months or the 3 months. Some patient needs 5 years, sometimes 10 years treatment. I have patients who are on treatment for life. Some patients just continue because once the receptor site is blocked, that medication is in there, it stops. They don't crave for the drugs. When that medication starts to fade away, they want to start craving for the drugs again, and they're going back to where it was. So we want to be able to prevent that. You know, the whole mental health in Liberia is a systemic issue. It's affecting not just the patient, not just those young guys who will go Zoko. It affects that family. It destroys the family. It affects the community. It affects the society. And these children are the future of Liberia. If we don't rescue them now, and I'm so glad that the president has a slogan, rescue. If we don't rescue them now, the economy of Liberia is going to be, which is already fragile, but it's really going to be crippled. So we want to be able to bring treatment. Like I said, I treat patients, and I see the difference. When the patient goes through the psychological treatment, they're in counseling, they do the medications, they have family support. I understand that this whole mental health, especially the substance use disorder, children who are on drugs, it affects the home. It affects the mother and the father. No mother wants to see that child being on drugs. It destroys the entire family sector. So we want to be able to get the family involved and say that it's a whole system that needs to happen to take place for us to rehabilitate one person. So we want to come, and that's why when Corporal told me, I was so glad. Liberia is my home. If I'm there providing care for people in the United States, why can I also do the same thing? And I'm hoping that the Ministry of Health will work with us, give us some kind of access, some kind of license, and we're able to even do telehealth, telecommunication, telehealth. We can do telehealth from the United States. We can do treatment, psychological treatment. It can be done. Even in the U.S. now, everybody's doing the mental health counselor. They all do telehealth. So we want to incorporate all of those in the system. For that system to work, it takes a team. It takes a collective effort, and that's what we want to do. Because if not, 10 years from now, our economy will cripple because the generation that is to strengthen the economy, they're going to be all gone from drugs. They're going to be in prison. They're going to be dead because this whole drug substance use disorder is very crippling to the entire society.
Mm-hmm. So you as a doctor who operates your own affordable healthcare center there in Maryland, how difficult do you think it is in dealing with mental health, especially in a country like Liberia, that much funding is not allotted by the government, to kind of deal with mental health. So how difficult is it to deal with it?
Honestly, if the government is not involved, but I know that when I read the president's speech with his road rescue plan, I know healthcare was one of them that he's putting some kind of resource in. So, and I'm hoping that some of the healthcare will be allocated to mental health, because if there is no allocation, no resource for mental health, it's gonna not only the entire economy, it's gonna cripple the already fragile healthcare system. So it is difficult without resources, and also get us the diaspora involved. I'm also the president of the Liberian Diaspora Healthcare Task Force. Was very instrumental in working with Dr. Jala during her term. We work with Dr. Jala with the healthcare, and we're hoping to work with this Ministry of Health to also work to help the already fragile healthcare system, including the mental health. So without the resources, it's going to be very difficult. And the U.S. has put right now. The U.S. have put about $1.7 billion into opioid use disorder treatment. Opioid use disorder treatment is very, very affecting the young children in the U.S. And people are losing their children, so there's an outcry. And they have put a large amount of money into it because they understand that these children are the future. And the Liberian government needs to realize that these are the future. You see this young guy, I'm driving on the road and I've seen all these young boys, they call it Zogo. I'm like, this is the whole future of Liberia. But it's just being wasted. So it should be a priority. That we should put money and put resources into the health of this mental health of these young kids. Get them in the comfort state, put them into some kind of trade. Let them connect with the LEC. Let them connect with the water and sewer. Give them jobs. Open a manufacturing company. Rehabilitate them, and bring them back to society.
And one major issue that we've had with the issue of the Zogos particularly has to do with their reintegration. We see a lot of reintegration centers around here. They will take those guys from the streets, bring them in, try reintegrating them, but after a few months, we see those guys back into the streets, going on with their normal activities. And you talk about reintegration and having medication to kind of solve that problem. Can you expand more on that?
Okay, so reintegration is not just a 3 to 6 months process.
Okay.
You cannot rehabilitate a patient, give them the treatment, detox them, and say, now you can go home. I currently treat patients in the U.S. Sometimes these patients are on for 5 years.
5 years.
5 years or more. Sometimes it's a lifetime treatment. And all left with the patient. Not everybody can, that receptor site can react so quickly. Some patient, it takes a while because there's the mu receptor. So what happens is heroin is an antagonist, right? So they have heroin. When heroin gets in the receptor site, anything else that comes around it blocks it. So you have Suboxone, which is a partial agonist, right? So when Suboxone also gets in there, Suboxone will do its best to try to get that. Then you have methadone, which is a full agonist. So all those medication has role to play in that receptor site, and they're all competing. So when a patient is already on heroin, and you start the patient got to actually start going through withdrawals, right? We put them on Suboxone. So when you put that patient on Suboxone will do its best to try to get it. If that patient goes back to heroin, you have to increase the Suboxone dose. Because when the patient on heroin, so I want to stop that, or they didn't follow the plan, I'm going to know. You want to give a higher dose. So the maximum dose is 24 milligrams, right? So 3 times a day, you get the patient 8 milligrams, 3 times a day, which is 24 milligrams. But the maintenance dose is twice a day. So if the patient, you get in the first treatment, the first week, you put them on 3 times a day treatment. After they finish that week, they start to calm down, they start to detox. You keep the patient in maintenance dose. The patient maintenance, for example, they go to their friends and they say, the friends say, oh, let's do something, and they stop, if they do drugs again, you don't want to say, I will keep you on the program. But you want to, because they're already doing drugs, that means that the receptor site is not working. Okay? That new receptor is not working. So you want to increase the dose. So you get a higher dose to block the receptor site. So they don't click for heroin, they don't click for the drugs again. So that's why, so you need to have more medications. And that's why most patients, they cannot come off this 3 months. The rehabilitation, that's why you get the Zucker goes back. Because that body, that brain tells them that you need a drug, you gotta have the drug, you must have the drugs. The drugs. And that's why most of them don't want to do it. When they start to get off the drug, they go to severe withdrawals. Yeah. And they get sick. And you have this massive flu. And once they take the drug, the sickness stops. That's why most people go back to keep taking drugs. Not because they want the drug, they want to stop. But the body, the brain receptor says, no, you need the drug. So if we can get fundings to bring medications, treatment, keep it on there, you rehabilitate them, keep it on the treatment for long, maybe 5 years, sometimes a lifetime. That's how we're going to change the society.
So then at what point, because you're talking about 5 years, at what point do you realize that, hey, this job victim, this patient is now okay? At what point do you feel satisfied that this person can go into the community and live and cannot get addicted again to drugs?
So each patient is different. Okay, but you will start to wean the patient off. It's a weaning process you go through, right? So you start to wean the patient off. Also there's many factors. Because family involvement is key. Okay, the patient needs to have family involvement. The environmental is key. Okay, creating jobs for these people. When they're working in their activities, they're busy. They don't want to, nobody wants to go to work for 12 hours and come home and just, if you have so much time on your hand, you don't know what to do with that time, right? So giving them jobs, so you see that they will start to make progress. And you look at that process, you with the psychological treatment, you have them seeing the therapist. So the therapist, the medications, the family, the environment, that patient starts to change. Because I see it every day. I say it's not just opiate, but also alcohol. Vivitrol also treats alcohol. Forget alcohol. Alcohol is a substance that also could cripple the environment, cripple the entire community. So all of this medication, this treatment that helps patient. Okay. So you're winning the patient. You'll start to see the change in that patient. Right. Yes.
Okay. Let's go back to you, Madam Cooper. So you talk about collaboration with the government. In what ways do you hope to collaborate with the government? And have you already started engaging, some folks there, some officials there at the Ministry of Health for collaboration?
Well, I have just returned to the country, and I live in the U.S. And while building the mental health center, I have just returned, and I have tried speaking to some of the government officials. And I think, according to, as Dr. Stella said, that the president has embraced mental health, and as we all know about it, and he said that one of the important things President Bouakai said, he spoke about drug testing.
Yeah.
And I wrote on it that every job prerequisite should be drug testing, even as a cleaner, anything. Once you are going to work in a home as a babysitter or what, you should go through the drug testing process because it's very, very much important. And my engagement with the government is on the reintegration. The reintegration process is very, very, very important because I work as a former administrator, as I say, at the mental health hospital, Liberian Mental Health Hospital. So those same boys that we went through the rehabilitations with, they are the same guys I came and met again on the street. Why? Because you took Joseph from Town, went through the process, and it was like 21 days. And sometimes when we see that they were not doing well, especially when they are, how do you call it?
Detoxing.
Yeah, after detoxing, withdrawal, the withdrawal process is how long we keep them. So you cannot say I'm going to keep somebody for 5 months, 10 months, and you don't have the resource to take care of them. So if the director of mental health tells me yesterday that the government wants us to carry the process for 9 months, but are the family willing to pay for the 9 months, especially for we that have a private mental health institutions? I don't have funding from anywhere. Dr. Stella will not always give me her money. Rockefeller Cooper will not always give me his money. So at the end of the time, they have to pay to come to the facility. Will the family member be willing to take them through the 9 months process? And this is why we are calling in the government to come. This is very important. And as I said through FN on Monday, that last Monday, if Liberia does not put fast hand to this mental health, is going to affect the youth because they play a pivotal role in this country, and of different nationality will take over this country. You see the Nigerians, the Ghanaians, the Sierra Leoneans are pulling it. They are bringing, most of those nationalities are bringing in the drugs with big hands under it and affecting the youth of this country. It will come a time, if you don't have youth, Mr. Bouakai time is over. Jeremiah Kuhn group, we are in Jeremiah group. When our time is finished, what happens to the generation who are not ready to take over the country? So we are asking the government to come in. Mental health is everybody's business. It's not one person. Let it come in. Let us talk about this mental health. Let us put seriousness. Liberia is just a small country with a small population. If the government works harder, we can work on mental health in this country. Our kids are spoiling. Schools like J.J. Roberts, CWAs, cutting to other schools. You find the kids in those schools doing drugs. Those were schools of dream that we spoke about. Those were schools we both sending our children to. It's not the school the problem. It's the peer pressure in the school is the problem. Kids meet. Oh yes, we want to be. You see, and I meet my friends. We were sitting together. They brought a seashell. Oh, Cooper, you know. I said no. I will not do that. I have never planned to do that. And if I were you, think about it. Where is this smoke going? You are young. Your country healthcare system is dead. Why will you be taking this and think it's bluff? If you don't take it, you're not among the peers. You're not big girl. No, I'm a big girl. You can make yourself a big girl or big boy without polluting the system, especially when you have a dead healthcare system. We are calling the government needs to come in. I'm not begging them. I'm telling them they need to come in. It's their responsibility to tackle this mental health problem. It's their responsibility to help people who are serious minded and wants this work done. It's their responsibility to put in budget. It shouldn't affect them before they put in the budget. No. They should put in the money. Liberia needs the country. We got rich people in this country who take their money, go other town, other country and buy houses. Use the money in this country of the youth. Spend the money on the youth in this country. Help one person. And because I learned that little word from the Bible, if I can help somebody, my living will not be in vain. Be part of those who helping. Dr. Stella knew me nowhere. But I'm telling you, Dr. Stella shipped over $6,000 worth of materials for me in this country, including beds, medication costs. And it was half of the materials I brought some. I donated almost $7,000 costs and other things to Phoebe Hospital for the brain patient. And I still got some things in my garage. The problem is we all have to help, as she said, the diaspora group. During the coronavirus 2020, we were one of the biggest groups that supported Liberia. We had over 100 beds sent to the 14 military hospital and the Coast Guard base hospital. Dr. Brown can bear all witness. Dr. Wilhelmina Jala can bear all witness. We worked with her during coronavirus. And we are going to work with Dr. Poto. We just want Dr. Louis Maple Poto to just accept us and put her hand around us. We want to make her proud and elevate her. We want to make sure her healthcare time in that office is going to be successful.
That's where I wanted to ask the question, because in terms of this partnership you are seeking with government, whether do you think that it would be possible, be successful, knowing that government over time has been complaining about support as well, seeking support. So do you think it will be successful? And if not, how can you ensure that we can help the society by continuously working for those at-risk youth and the mental issue?
Well, I will answer later and allow Dr. Stella to talk on it. And as Dr. Stella spoke about being embraced, if the Liberian diaspora is being given some right, they could help in the healthcare system, in the fragile healthcare system.
What are some of those rights?
Like right is like giving us license to be able to have doctors over in the country, giving us some papers that we can be able to get medications and be shipped and clear at the ports, and helping facilitate, checking people, making sure nurses are doing the right thing, doctors are doing the right things, and people who are not doing the right thing, their license be taken away. And there has a lot of restrictions. Let them help. I'm not a doctor, but I'm a registered healthcare administrator. I work in the U.S. And I was associate hospital administrator at JFK. I was administrator at the Grand Medical Hospital, JFK, and I was the IPC director at the John F. Kennedy Medical Center. I'm a woman. I behave sometimes like Mary Bro. My problem is I don't like to see things that is to be done and I'm being told to do it. I like to do things before I am told. And the problem in Liberia, I'm sitting on the national television saying, you that want to do the right thing, you are never loved. You are going to be hated by so many. And people call me IPC woman, wear your no mask, hair washing woman, American doctor, American administrator. They have so many names for me because I said do not put glove in the shop. You cannot put a glove in the shop container. Who's going to remove it? And the company that waste the shop container is complaining that you put in gloves. How will they burn the shops when you are mixing it with glove tissues and other things? They have body fluid, place where you put body fluid. They have place for shops. They have place for gloves and non-body fluid. The regular trash, you have another container for it. But you don't leave and just mix all of those things. No, it doesn't work. That's not good housekeeping. It does not work.
Let's hear from you on that question.
Yes. So if every country, if you look at every country who had a fragile system, and the diaspora came in, the Chinese diaspora helped build China. The Ghanaians diaspora built Ghana. With the diaspora, we send millions of dollars to Liberia. Our family, our businesses here. So if the government, especially the healthcare system, if they work with us, like she says, give us some kind of license to practice, not even a license, they give us, some paper. The big thing is telehealth. Many people, many of my colleagues, they might be able to come physically, but they can train. We have open access to telehealth. We can train, we can educate, we can try to help with the ministry of fix the system. So if the government just give us some kind of, now we're glad that we have our dual citizenship You know, I was going to probably walk into like go to Liberia with my Liberian passport. So it felt so good. And I came from Burkina Faso. When Burkina Faso came and I used my Liberian passport, it felt so good. I felt so proud. You know, so it's like things that it encourage us to want to do more for our economy. So if the diaspora is giving that leverage for us to come in, Liberia will be transformed.
Okay.
Okay. So if you just joined us, folks, we have with us as our guest, Madam Comfort Yinatu Cooper. She's CEO of Comfort Mental Health Center. We also have Dr. Stella Jeffries. She's also CEO of Affordable Health Care in Maryland, USA. And of course, they are here discussing the issue of mental health and the opening of a new mental health center called the Comfort Mental Health Care, which is expected to be open on the 18th of the month of May this year. Madam Cooper, until you can get government support or until you can your collaboration with the government can be successful, upon the construction of the launch of this mental health center, what will be some of the initial services that you will be offering until you can get support from the government or collaborate with the government?
Well, for now, like I said, it's a 20-bedroom facility.
Okay.
And we try to use the bunk bed that we are trying to make now. That will take roughly 80%.
80%.
And so we are still waiting for the government to tell us how long we are going to go through this process. Because we learned they say 9 months now. But my problem within the 9 months, who's going to pay? Is the family member? Are the family member going to be ready to pay for the 9 months, especially for we that have the private facilities that we have to pay our workers and maintain the facility? Like me, I took loan from the bank and from IB Bank. I need to pay back my loan to the bank for that facility. So we have, like Dr. Stella said, that I have one of the partner who is partnering with me. It's called Dr. Quita Rabos, a psychologist who's graduating in August, but she has been practicing as a mental health clinician in the US. She wants to work with us, but she will not be in Liberia. Once in a while, if we can have the telehealth system, as Dr. Jeffries could still come on the line the same way. And we have the Liberia Medical Missions. We have Dr. Simmons, who wants to work with us too, but she wants to use the telehealth system to carry on counseling. We have family counseling. We have, as I said, the rehabilitation, which include the detoxification, which include reintegration. If we have the green light from the government to be able, after training, masonry, and maybe electricity and other things to our people, how do we put them into the society to fit? Because you cannot come somewhere and spend 9 months, 6 months, 3 months. Okay, let's say you are ready to leave, and then you go back to the same place and just sit and watch the society. What happens in idleness? When you are idle, they say the idle minds is the devil workshop. And that will happen in this country. So we are calling on the government to come into this mental health, especially into the reintegration process, to put in the money to help bring the trust. Give us, how they call this paper, clearance, that Dr. Jeffries can go around. She's very good at begging the people to help Liberia. Getting some medication she just did for Burkina Faso recently. Yes. When the medication comes, let it be able to be clear out of the put. We don't have to be worried how to clear the medication from the put. We got a lot of things right now that Jeffrey has had. The diaspora is seated in the US. We can't bring it because of the cost of clearing. Yeah. So if they can help us, and I'm calling on Dr. Louis Maple Koto, who is one of our beautiful doctors and the Minister of Health, that's going to rock the Ministry of Health, that's going to rock this process. In her first 6 years, we are calling on her to work with the Liberian diaspora and other healthcare system. Let the Ministry of Health supersede every facility as the Department of Health does in the United States of America. Go to facilities, see what they are doing, what they are not doing. Find those facilities or the facilities are dirty, when they are not practicing the right way, find them. Every 3 months, some committee from the Ministry of Health should be able to go through facilities, because we have a lot of restroom facilities coming up. As soon as you run them when your hair hurts, they give you drip. They don't even calculate the water that they put into you. Not every little thing requires drip. A lot of things has happened. People treat right in their houses. People deliver in their houses. We have this maternal. It's a problem. I didn't come to talk about that, but we are calling on Dr. Poto, and we are planning to meet with her this week because the diaspora group is in town. Dr. Stella Jeffrey is the head.
So who is in charge of the recruitment for those who will be dealing with?
I myself, I'm a behavioral health therapist, and I have my girlfriend, Miata Kamara, who is Lady Law. She's the ghetto sister, the ghetto girl, who goes around the LIBX record director. And I have Mrs. Mire Kanga, who is a mental health clinician. I have Prince, who graduated from the Columba University in counseling, James. They all graduated from Mental Carter Center. We are all going to go and do the recruitment by ourselves. And we are not going to force nobody. I'm saying it today. I'm not going to force nobody into this process. I'm not going to admit anybody into my facility that your parent brought and tie you up and force you until maybe you are mentally ill. But if you are a substance user, they have to force you and escort you with police. I'm not going to accept you.
Why? Because that will always be the case.
Yes. Right? Change is inevitable. Change. If somebody is willing to change, they're going to walk up to you. If you grab those people, tie them, and bring them in the facility to tabate them like 1990, those are the people that destroy the facility. Because as they said, they recruit people to destroy with them. They pass through the ceiling. When people are sleeping, they run away. They do a lot of chaotic things so you can put them out. But those that sit and walk to you and say, Auntie, Uncle, I want to change, those are the people we're going to deal with.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
And one thing I left, Dr. Stella spoke about family participation. And I'm speaking about the same family participation again. One of the major factors that affect the youth in this country, family members are not paying attention to their children. I know it's difficult, it's hard, there's no job, but the ones that work, you leave your house 6 o'clock in the morning getting ready to get into the traffic to get to work. You leave from house, your kids either are going to school or getting ready for school. Then you come home 8 o'clock in the night from job because your boss didn't go or your boss man didn't go. You cannot leave work. What happened to your kids? Your kids are growing up by themselves. They raise themselves with all discipline, no parental guardians in their life. So at the end of the day, what happens? No relationship built. You don't have anything to tell those kids. Those kids do their own things when they come from school. It's a lot. I have seen a lot of parents leave their house in the morning to beat the traffic and come home late. And their parents are growing up. It's problem. It's a serious problem. The government should set a time. Go to work 9 to 4, 8 to 5.
No, we're going to take them until 9, 10.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can go ahead.
9 to 4 and 8 to 5, we are appealing to the government. Allow these single mothers go home to their children. Allow these single fathers go home to their children. Allow those common married people go home to their children. You cannot leave the children abandoned and expect them to become Mr. Right. No.
Okay.
All right. Before going to the lines, Dr. Jeffries, you want to say anything before we take calls?
I just, Comfort is absolutely right. The parents, key factor, not just, their, work schedule. That yes, the government should help with the work schedule, but it's also important for the parents to have a structure. Mm-hmm. You've got to have a structure in your home. You got to have some form of discipline in your home. We have social media. Our kids are listening to social media. Our kids are listening to so many things. There's got to be some kind of parental guidance, parental restriction on some of the things that our children are listening to, so the places they are going. Because yes, we have this. They're already in school. They've been exposed to so much. When we was growing up, there's so many things that we didn't know that with these kids now they're so exposed to. But if you, the parents, you set good restriction at home, most of the time your kids will not become a menace to society. Most homes are raising menaces to society. We need to change that. So yes, family involvement is key. And another aspect of family involvement, I know sometimes that people get tired when their kids on drugs, but you can never give up on your child. And you shouldn't give up on your child. You know, some people say, "Oh, you did this, you did that. You know, I don't want to see you anymore." Then what do you do? Who else will take care of that child? Your child is your child. So mothers, fathers, I'm pleading to you guys. If your child is out there, go look for your child. Look for that child. Child is desperate in need of your help, your love. Go look for that child. Try to say you can bring them to rehabilitate them. I know you tried before. I know they let you down, but you gotta keep doing it until one day, with God's help, you'll win your child back over.
Okay. So let's not go to the lines. You're listening to Toba Today's show right here on your favorite dial. For those of you who played the radio game, you can start checking your phones now because the draw is being done. But if you've been listening to the conversation and you want to contribute, all you need to do is to call 0777 1075 0777 1075 101075. Those are the numbers. You put it through. You probably have a question or you have a comment to make an input to make here. Call us on those numbers and have to say, let's talk to this first person. Good morning, your name and where you join us from?
Yeah, good morning. My name is Robert. This is 17.
Yes, sir.
I'm listening to the break since you started the program. I'm listening to the sisters and the way they're speaking. I'm like, oh God, what if we can have maybe 10, 15 person like this, like those people that are in the studio, so that my blood can get better. But something I was saying that touched me most is, she said when they tied something and anybody was going to tie and like they tap it into the white and put it in the something. And then appealing the government to talk to the people, a single mother, single father, they shouldn't let them stay at work. It is not possible to do that. I would ask that the government do this to make the condition better for every one of us. Because if you say you are a single mother and you're going to give it that privilege and it will be given to everybody, it's not going to work. But we can stand by you and ask the government to support the cause so that we all can be benefited. It's not about one person, it's about every one of us. So we all got to be part of it. I don't know how they are doing it, but from what I hear them speaking, I think it is in the interest of the Liberian people so that we all can support them and if you let the ministry come in and help these people, let it be part of this so that Liberia can be better. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. You want to address that caller as we are with more calls. The numbers to put it through are 0777 771 075 101075. So he talked about inclusiveness. He talked about he spoke against discrimination. It's essentially because you said that before you work with anybody, that person must be willing. They must show some sense of willingness. But if the person is against being reintegrated, you cannot force the person because probably the person is going to damage your facility and it's really going to be more difficult to deal with the person in the process of reintegration. So what have you got to say about that?
Well, first of all, I have never discriminated because he doesn't know the job. He's not in the field. That's why he thinks it's discrimination. No, you cannot force no one to change. I don't care how long you keep those people who are not willing to change. They are going to, first of all, destroy it. Secondly, they are going to look for everything to manipulate people in that facility to be like them and to run away. So I did not say I'm not going to help. But I'm not going to force people to change. You cannot force anybody to be changed, not even your own kids. When I was at the government facility, I saw people came with police, tied their kids and brought them. And we tried going through the process. Those were the kids that really gave us tough time. When you gave them the medication, they won't take the medication. They're going to keep it in their mouth, under the tongue. And those kids are the one that's going to break those window glasses. They're going to climb on the wall, lift the roof and enter and run outside into other people's fence or door bit another one time. So, but people that their kids walk up to them and came to the facility door and knock the gate and tell us, oh, I came to change. I've been on the street all these while and I came for change. I want help. Those are the ones that we really work with, and they came out, and most of them come to find me right now, and they are doing well. So I'm not being discriminating. It's not discrimination. It's just the truth. The truth is that when someone does not want to change, you cannot force them. You can keep them, escape them. All the medication, as Dr. Jeffrey said, even in the U.S., it happens to people that we work with. Those who don't want to change. The last time before I came home, I had a client who almost killed me and the two other residents. That client was forced. She been to that place for 3 years. One morning, she got so mad. She woke up. She said they're keeping her against her will, and she broke out of the window glasses and started to throw the window glasses at us, and we had to run. Police has to come there to arrest her and to settle the situation. That's what I meant.
Okay, we'll take a few more calls. 077771075, 077771075, 0551075 is 4 minutes on the flip side of 10 o'clock. Let's see whether we can talk to this person on the line. Hello, your name and where you join us from? Hello, are you there? Okay. Okay, I don't know what's happening. Let's see whether we can talk to this person. Hello. Hello, your name and where you join us from? All right. Okay, so it's 4 minutes on the flip side of 10 o'clock. So is there anything that probably we did not ask that you want to make mention of?
I can speak.
Yeah.
Well, I think one thing that I'm gonna work with Comfort to do to try to solicitate for drugs, medication, treatment modality, medications that will help to, like I said, rehabilitate these patients. I see them as patients. I don't see them as logo. I don't see them as psychologically disturbed, emotionally disturbed. I see them as patient. So we're gonna do our very best.
Dog, 1 minute. Let's see whether we can take this call. This person has been hoovering. Hello? Okay, you can continue.
Yes. So we're hoping that the government will get involved, but we're also going to mobilize the diaspora to work along with Comfort to do our best to help her to get this, because this facility is key to Liberia. So we'll work together with her.
Okay, let's talk to this person. Hello?
Hello.
Your name and where you join us from?
Yeah, I just want to come back. This is Marco. I want to ask a question from you, please.
Okay.
My sister in the studio, this job, this project that you are undertaking, it's not something small. It's just something small. It's a huge project that you are undertaking. Is there anything, because it's not a short-term thing, is there anything that you can include the government, that the government can come in, that everybody can come and make this project a very big and long-term project? It's not 10, it's not 15 years, they did that for good. So that we all can work on it, that the government can come, it has to do with more money. Is there anything that you want to include the government and everybody so that we can have a big project instead of just having it one and everybody just doing their own thing? Is there any plan? Thank you. That's the question I want to ask.
Okay, did you get it?
Well, I don't. Dr. Sarah, did you get him?
Yeah, I got his question. Well, Comfort Mental Health is starting now, but yes, the government can make this into a global project for Liberia, not just in Monrovia, but in other counties. So the government really want, like I said, working with Comfort Mental Health and working with the diaspora, we can really make this into a big global thing, national project that Comfort Mental Health can lead, and we can help so many young people. Because I'm sure the opioid, the drug use disorder is not just in Monrovia.
No,
I'm sure it's also in the other counties. We cannot neglect the other counties, because what happened in rehabilitate these people, people will come from the counties. They're not rehabilitated. They will come and it will be the same thing. So yes, this should be national. It should be a national project, that it can go all over Liberia.
Okay. So one more call, and then we have to go home. 0777-771-075. 0555-101075. Let's take just one more call, and we call it a day on this edition of the Today Show. So for those of you who played the radio game, check your phone. 20 persons should be walking away with 2,500 Liberian dollars as of now. Let's talk to this person. Hello, your name and where you join us from?
Hey, whenever I'm Morris, why you calling for tomorrow?
Morris, let's hear you.
Yeah, I think that is even there. I think very important because if you put the food, there will be a big research in other countries. They get too bad off. So I'll get into my dad. Maybe 5 years old.
Oh my God, we lost Morris, but I think we can replace Morris. Morris, you can call us back. Morris, call us back if you don't mind. But we can take another call. Let's talk to this person. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, your name and where you join us from?
I'm Emmanuel Bowen calling from New Jersey.
Emmanuel, let's hear you.
Yeah, I want to thank the studio guests for such an innovative program.
Okay.
And about the idea that we hope that the government will come in to embrace that because the future of our country is in danger. So I will advise that the government come in so that these people will be able to go in the 15 political divisions.
Okay.
It's not only Maria is not Liberia.
Okay.
And that's that idea. And I thank them for that vision. And I hope the health ministry and all, way back, we have social worker. And today we not see these things.
Okay.
So we need for the government to put in behind these people so they can revive our generation.
Thank you. Thank you. I think Morris is back. Is this Morris? Yeah, welcome. Hello.
Yeah, I'm Mrs. Wellington.
Okay. This is Wellington. Let's hear you.
I want to say a big thank you to the speaker there, and I want to thank all for them. But my question here, she's talking about nothing. It's a private institute. Is there any price that we can know about for now?
You're talking about price? Fees?
Yeah, for the 9 months. I'm going to try to so I'm a 15, so I want to bring my children over.
Oh, okay. All right. Just listen. They're going to answer that. Thank you. So somebody's asking about fees for the 9 months.
The problem is that we have really not attached a fees yet, because I'm still hoping a week or two or what the government might call us to engage us, maybe to take the facility or what. But I'm going to talk to my other colleagues, and we're going to say when we opened and we don't hear anything for anyone who is coming, then we're going to attach fees. But I will not tell you how much is it right now.
So you mentioned about not wanting to parent should pay or government should be the one to pay, and also your loan is running out and all of that.
Yes, I mentioned my loan because if the facility is taken by the government, it's not just going to be taken free, because I built the facility, it's my personal property. The government is going to rent the facility as they are renting the ES grant. So I'm going to use that money to pay my loan, and the government is going to pay their staff. The staffers are going to be at the facility. That's what I meant. And the government facility should be free or a little amount paid for service, fee for service. But if it's a private facility, you're going to pay some money. Some people are doing it for $200, $300, $350, and other things. And I was thinking about monthly. Because you have to feed them 3 times daily. They have to take bath. They need electricity. The place needs to be clean. You have staff to pay. You have medical and general staff to pay.
Okay. So that is, you can't come up with fees yet until.
Yes, but I was thinking in between $250 a month.
Okay, that is without government.
Yes, without government collaboration. And we have private rooms too. Because I used to hear people saying, oh, I'm bringing my kids, I need a private room, I need this, mental health. In our job is identity protection. You have to protect people's identities. So some people come, they don't want people to know they are in the facility. Big people come, and so they want to be kept in private rooms. We have private rooms there, and those private rooms will be $100 a week.
$100
without the government collaboration.
Okay, finally, what have you got to say before we take leave of you? It's been a wonderful conversation here. Thanks for coming. What do you want to say in part?
Well, let me just start, Dr. Stella, closing. I would say Comfort Mental Health will be opened May 18, 2024, which is next week, Saturday. Come one, come all, because Comfort Mental Health is a place to be. It's going to be a place to be where fun will be shared, where workers and CEO, they call me the boss chick. I'm always there for my workers, and I'm always there for the general public. And that one single thing I say, if I can help somebody, my living will not be in vain. Come and experience the beauty at Comfort Mental Health. Come for insanity problems, come for drugs problems, and we say mental health is everybody's business. Come on May 18th. Everybody comes. We're going to eat. We're going to drink some Kool-Aid water and some soda. Come on. Yes, we have a lot of food. We have food there. We're going to talk to people. Dr. Stella Jeffrey is going to be speaking on wellness and mental health. So we have Hassan Fatika. He's going to speak on mental health, the care of people with mental problems. So come on, come all. Love you guys. Mrs. Comfort Cooper, CEO, Boss Chick, Comfort Mental Health. May 18.
I like the energy.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the energy.
Yes. So if we have the best interest for our economy, our country, the future of our country, they're sitting on the street.
Mm-hmm.
We have to put in the resources. We have to come together, both government and private sector. It affects everyone. We all must come together and don't leave out the diaspora. Let's get this done. Let's help our children, help our future. So this is the role I want to play. I want to come in to work with medications, to work with treating patients, the treatment modality, bringing the structure. The same exact structure that we're treating patients in the US, our people deserve the same or even better.
Okay, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you guys in studio and wish you, success in your endeavor.
Thanks.
All right, so folks, that's it right there. You've been listening to Madam Comfort Cooper, CEO of Comfort Mental Health Center, and also Dr. Stella Jeffries, CEO of Affordable Health Care Maryland, USA. They've been here talking more about mental health issues and also the opening of a new mental health center called the Comfort Mental Health Care on May 18, 2024. So you are invited to be there and form part of that occasion. It's been a wonderful time here on the show today. I've been here alongside my colleague, Dennis Cooper, who just came from Nairobi, Kenya.
Cooper?
Dennis Nipsey. I got your last name to her.
That's a busted last name.
Dennis Nipsey. Okay. So their number is here. If you want to contact them, you can call 0778 470192 0778 470192. Just in case you need any information, contact this number once more, 0778 470192, and of course you're going to get those information that you need. It's been a wonderful time, Dennis, and then finally.
Yes, we'd like to say bye-bye. Tomorrow we'll be here again.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.